What is up, my wholesome lifers? Welcome or welcome back. My name is Kira, and usually I share plant-based easy recipes to help you look and feel your best. Today we are going to be doing a start of a new series, which I'm really excited for. I recently started reading Earthling Ed's new book, How to Argue with a Meat Eater and Read Every Time. It is so good. I'm only halfway through right now, and I thought we could go over some of my favorite arguments that are in there that I also hear from a lot of my friends or people who find out that I'm vegan, and then they bring up these arguments to me. Diving right in. This argument goes, it's better for an animal to have lived than not. So what Earthling Ed says, and which I actually didn't realize or learn until reading this book, and then I did some more research, and it's absolutely true, which is just horrible. Cows can live 20 to 25 years, but we kill them at 12 to 24 months because we prefer the taste of young flesh. That is honestly so sad. The fact that cows can live 20 to 25 years and we're killing them at 1 to 2 years, it definitely would have had a better life, probably not living at all, unfortunately. So this argument, no, it's horrible, it doesn't work. Just tell people this fact, they'll be really sad or mad or blown away, but yeah, horrible, horrible, horrible. Next argument. If we all went vegan, the animals we farm would go extinct. This is what Earthling Ed has to say. Of all the non-human mammals on the planet, 96% of the global biomass is farmed mammals, compared to only 4% being wild mammals. By reducing the number of farmed animals exist, we'd be providing an opportunity for more animal species to exist overall. And I know that when people think about farmed animals, they think about, cows grazing on this large pasture. But really, to be able to feed the amount of people with the high demand of meat right now, these animals are shoved into these little cages, and just think, they're taking like 96% of the planet. And I can just picture these horrible, tight little farms with like tons and tons of farmed animals on them. And it's just sad because there's no room for regular wildlife anymore. So take out the farmed animals, like the wildlife can actually have a chance to grow themselves. And yeah, it's just, just because we do farm animals right now doesn't mean that we have to, and the amount that we're doing it is just unsustainable, it's unrealistic, it's horrible. Okay, so this argument, gone, done. This is a really good argument. Humans are superior / more intelligent, so we can do what we want to animals. Let's say you're a pig on a farm. You've been mutilated, forcibly impregnated, trapped in a cage, you can't turn around, and this is all you've ever known. How do we know that this pig doesn't think that this is all they will ever know? For that pig, without the awareness that what is happening to them could ever end, it may well seem like this is what will happen for eternity. They can't conceptualize what being free would even look like, because for all they know, there is no such thing. Is this not how we describe hell? A place of eternal subjugation, fear, and suffering? And if so, have we not literally created a hell on earth for these animals? Because humans are more intelligent and have an understanding of how experiences like pain and suffering will end, either because of medicine or death, we then know that it will stop. Plus, our intelligence allows us to distract ourselves in ways that maybe animals can't. Sometimes I hear that animals just live in the moment. Well, only being able to live in the moment makes suffering so much worse for these animals. Using this logic, they can't distract themselves, they can't think or plan for a future without experiencing any enduring. If anything, many of the justifications we use to demean the experience of animals could actually make it even worse for them. Wow, that's so powerful. Thinking about the fact that, yes, pigs are more intelligent than dogs, so why do we treat pigs so much differently? Cows are intelligent animals as well. But the fact that they're not as intelligent as us doesn't give us the right to use them how we please. Like, that would just be saying, I have a smarter IQ than you, so come over here, get in my oven, I'm gonna cut you up and cook you. Like, it just doesn't make sense, it doesn't hold up. If you made it this far in the video, go comment the word below vegan so that I know you're watching, I know you're here, and I'm just curious to see who is still engaged. Also, if you haven't, give this video a thumbs up, definitely go do that now. And of course, go subscribe if you haven't, as I'm uploading 2 new videos every single week. You're not gonna wanna miss out on those. On to the next one. Animals are not a someone. This has to do again with, I think, like someone thinking that animals are less important than us. But when you really think of animals as being a someone, I feel like your mindset changes. Like, think of, your dog or your cat or your fish or whatever. They are a being. You gave them a name. They have a life. They have a soul. They have a personality. Same with cows. Same with pigs. Same with fish. Same with you know, every animal on the planet has its own little personality, its own little being. There's a little soul inside of there. So this is actually a really good quote. So he was arguing with someone from UC Berkeley, and this is what the other guy said. His name was Idian. Why would you limit yourself to a certain amount of flavors when there's an exponential amount of flavors to try? Ed replies, because someone has to suffer and have their life taken from them for some of the flavors that we're talking about. The other guy, it's not a someone. Ed, are animals not someone's? The other guy, no. Ed, then what are they? Idian, they're animals. Well, Ed, if an animal isn't a someone, then what are they? A something? So this is super powerful because really just think of animals as a someone. When you look down on your plate, you're eating somebody. You're eating a someone. You're eating little Charlotte the pig. You're eating little, you know, Jerry the cow or whatever. But it's just change your mindset because these things are not things. We're treating them as things and they are not things. Okay, this is a good one. This is one of my favorite arguments for vegetarianism versus veganism. The argument that animals don't die from milk or eggs. The idea that an animal would be killed in their production seems contradictory. Take dairy cows, for example. Due to the burden and strain placed on their bodies from being repeatedly impregnated and selectively bred to produce up to 10 times more milk than they would naturally, they become infertile, they develop infections like mastitis, or simply start producing less milk. This leads to the farmer being faced with two options. Either keep the cow alive, paying for food and bedding while making less or even no money from the cow, or have the cow slaughtered, get paid for their flesh, and then replace the cow with another who is fertile and will produce the most milk possible. So really, in this case, the farmer has no choice. Like, farming is a business. As much as we like to say that farmers love their animals, you know, I'm sure some of them out there that do love their animals, but in the end of the day, farming is a business. So if that cow isn't producing X liters of milk per day, you know, 10 times what they would naturally, then that cow is, you know, going to the gas chamber or the slaughterhouse and it's getting its throat cut, which is another thing that's just horrible. So again, even though cows can live between 20 and 25 years, dairy cows are slaughtered as young as 4 years old if the farmer stops viewing them as being profitable enough to keep alive. So for the cattle industry, we're killing cows when they're 12 to 24 months old, so 1 or 2 years. And in the dairy industry, we're killing cows as old as 4 years because they can't keep up with the milk production. That's crazy. So this is just one really good reason to stop drinking milk, stop eating cheese, stop consuming things with dairy products in it. Like this honestly just, it has to stop. Okay, and now here's another point for the same argument. When it comes to egg-laying hens, because they've been selectively bred to produce almost an egg a day, compared to the 12 to 20 eggs a wild jungle fowl lays in a year. Can you imagine that? 365 eggs a year compared to the 12 to 20 that they would usually produce naturally. So now, of course, their production declines after about 72 weeks due to the strain being placed on their bodies. So what do farmers do? They sell them so they can make more money for their flesh and then restock their farms with younger hens. And the male chicks, who are useless to the egg industry because they don't lay eggs, and are useless to the meat industry because they haven't been selectively bred to grow to slaughter to weight in 6 weeks, are killed as soon as they're born by being gassed to death or by being macerated alive, which means like grinded alive. This is the reason I stopped eating eggs. I could not contribute to this horrible issue that's going on in the world. And this is something that like people try to hide by using buzzwords like grass-fed and free range and whatever, but they don't mean anything. Like, they mean they have a tiny bit of extra space, or if it's cage-free, that means it's not in a tiny little cage. Instead, it's shoved in a barn with 40,000 other hens, still unable to move, but it's not in a cage, so it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's horrible. And we just need to stop treating animals like they're things. So this is one last point for this argument that Ed makes. While I think it's great that people make changes to try and reduce their harm to animals, vegetarianism has more in common with eating meat than it does with veganism. And upsettingly, for all of its good intentions, replacing beef and lamb and chicken with dairy and eggs could actually increase the number of animals suffering and being slaughtered. So if you're vegetarian and you say that you can't give up your cheese, you can't give up your milk, please, I urge you to listen to this argument and just take a second and think about if your taste buds for that one meal are worth sacrificing all of these animals for. I think you're gonna come to the conclusion that it's not. Okay, why do vegans want to eat foods that look and taste like animal products? Men shouldn't eat soya as it reduces testosterone and can cause man boobs. Everyone around me eats animal products. As the saying goes, you know, if everyone jumped off a bridge, would you also jump off a bridge? We are only a quarter way through of the arguments that I've highlighted. So yes, definitely go subscribe if you have not yet and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks so much guys. We'll see you in the next one.